Hey everyone, welcome to another video. What we're going to do today is look through the Solar 42 and the basic functionality of it. The reason why is because some of my subscribers, and thank you guys for subscribing, have been asking me to do it, and also because there aren't really that many tutorials online on how to use the Solar. If you're a beginner like me who doesn't come from a background of modular synths and stuff like that, getting into learning the Solar has been a new experience for me, but for some people it can be a little bit daunting, and this hopefully will give you a help if you're one of the people like me who got this instrument and then kind of was figuring it out but didn't really know where to look for. On YouTube there's very few tutorials as well. So essentially this is basically like a getting started guide to the Solar 42. Okay, I hope this is useful, and let's get into it. All right guys, we're gonna go through this to what I've been able to figure out. It's a complicated synth, especially if you don't have a background in modular or, you know, getting things connected with CV and gate and all that stuff, but I'm going to walk you through what I've been able to figure out. We're going to stay in the style of behavior called single, where the synth is behaving basically with both sides of the keyboard, affecting both of the main voices. You can split it and affect them individually, or do other things like twin that has another behavior pattern with sequencers and arpeggiators that can do different things. But the point is that the behavior pattern for today will be single to keep things kind of simple. The point of this is for other Solar users who are trying to figure this out, especially as they're getting started. Now, you're gonna need to connect to some kind of tuner, and I have it connected to Ableton. So when I tune, what I need to be careful of is that I'm only listening to the one oscillator that I want to tune. So I'm going to turn down the volume on oscillator 2, and I can tune. And I can tune the oscillator, and then same thing, I can do them detuned if I want to, like any synth, but for today I'm going to keep them both playing the same key. And now they're both playing a C. The oscillators have different waveforms, so let me play oscillator 1, sine wave, triangle. The square waves have pulse modulation. I'll let you hear that a little bit better later. There's a sub too, so. And that's kind of like the primary functionality of the two voices, and the voices are double. So whatever happens here also happens here. You can hold the same way as you can hold also on the other oscillators and voices, and you have an ADSR envelope. So again, if we're only listening to voice 1, very short release, very long, and you know, all the different things that you guys know from ADSR. It's pretty straightforward. This black row is volume, so you can see that if I add this back in, now I've added in that second oscillator, but all these, for example, are connected to the different voices. So this will be drone 1 and 2, 3 and 4, but they're actually numbered, I think, a little bit differently. I think they're called 4 and 5, and then the other two are 3 and 6. Okay, so these are a little bit different because these have some different capabilities as far as what the oscillator does. It's a little bit more complicated. Also has a noise function to it too, and these are also have their own LFO, but these do not. With regards to the way that the sequencer works, the sequencer basically has a gate that you can send to the gate of your oscillator 1, and if you want to hear the different notes, you can see right now this is not affecting any of the tonality functionality of the pitch, but if I go CV to 1 volt per octave, now it's playing like that, but I can still play oscillator 2 with the keyboard, okay? You can make this 3 steps long, 4 steps long, 5 steps long. And again, all this stuff here that we're doing, is passing through the signal completely not affected by the effects. The effects are blended with this blend knob here, and you have a card that has a couple effects on the card and can be affected on a right or left channel, as can the filter be split right or left, or it can be linked. And then also you can affect the channels together as well with the effects. I'm currently not running any effects through it, but to give you an idea, this is the effects card called Magic. I'll plug in the gate again so you can hear the sequence. So very cool. The effects cards that come with it are cool. Some are cooler than others. I have a whole video on that, so that might be helpful for you if you want to check that out. You can get the gate to then send a signal. For example, also, now it's not sending out the notes anymore, but you can send that out to So you can send out the gate through this pulsar button here, and then it'll link up to a gate in. Basically, if you're learning the synth, what you want to think about is that if a writing is in red, it's going to be a send, and if it's in black, it's going to be a receive. Okay. So again, so you can hear the clock is now the internal clock. Let me do that again. I have this set up like this, and we can slow down or speed it up. Now, other things that you can do, you can affect the, remember I said that these don't have an LFO. You have a LFO here and here that can be linked directly into these oscillators. So that's how you would do that. And you can externally clock, for example, like from a CV gate output, clock output into the clock here, and then you can send that gate into the clock here, and that's going to then make the clock sync externally, okay? And basically on the keyboard, you'll see that there's a couple gates. The gates can then be sent to the different oscillators, and also CV can be sent as well. With regards to the joystick also can be basically assigned to do whatever you want it to do. So for example, I can even send it up to the CV up here on the effects, and then if I have the joystick, let me get this going for you in a way that's more. So even though that's kind of quiet, you can see how the joystick is affecting the effect, okay? So the joystick is kind of straightforward. I'm thinking what else you guys might want to know. The hold will keep this playing, right? But you see there's these buttons here. These buttons correspond to the oscillator that they're in line with, right? So right now I'm currently playing oscillator 3. If I also turn on this button here, what that's going to do is turn on this kind of theremin kind of sensor. So if I wave my hand above it, And that can be fun, performatively. So you tune the different and you can reduce the amount of voltage or increase the amount of voltage, which is also going to affect tuning, and that's going to affect tuning globally. And you have basically 4 of those. So once the whole thing is up and going, you can get fairly impressive sounds. There's a distortion, so that's part of the newer version of this, because I think the first Solar did not have that, if I'm not mistaken. And you can adjust the gain on the distortion too. So it's not so crazy. The things to think about, the external source, you can plug in an external source and then affect it, maybe filtering it or adding the effects to it. That's super cool. But also if you turn up the gate, there's a preamp here. And it's a contact mic basically, so sometimes this can be something fun to play with as well. But again, we're going pretty experimental that way. So remember, with the gate, you can also gate, for example, noise. So that would be this oscillator here. That could be something that you can maybe, it has an LFO on it too. Maybe that's something that you can do in a sort of percussive way, right? And this other drone voice are quite particular. They have the noise, but they have these kind of like, let me get their volumes up. So these, besides having the voice, have basically AM and FM synthesis, and it's kind of odd to me. I'm still figuring this part out, but it does have an LFO connected directly to it, and that can be something quite fun to use as well. I think for the most part, that's most of the functionality of it. I don't really understand the envelope follower, how it works. Maybe in the comments you guys can help me with that. And that's basically the synth. The row of gray buttons are the pan buttons, so whether or not you are listening to something in stereo or right or left panned. Headphone amp, volume, main volume, blend again for the effects. All right guys, I hope that video was useful. The Solar 42 is a super powerful synth. It can be complicated, but once you get to know some of the basic functions of it, it can be not too daunting. I hope that if you have a synth like this, you are enjoying it like me. It's been a wonderful experience. I really do love this synth. It's very cool. Anyway, I just want to thank you guys for coming along and joining me on this whole thing. So thanks guys. I'll see you in the next one.